tighter, then of course the shield will go further up. I like how like the guy sounds slightly cockney. We're gonna take you right on, alright? We're like them spolders. By the way, the pig is like nonchalant. Very brave pig right there. If we move to this as well, this is another type of shield, I think. And you can't see their crotches. That's an improvement from the previous game.
So if you can hear anything, that's what that is.
Hey noble ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and today I've come prepared. I've got these. So, what we're going to do, we're going to check out the Kingdom Come Deliverance II new gameplay trailer, which I think is excellent. I've already watched it, of course, with you during a live stream, and today I'm going to play some of the clips of this, in fact quite a lot of the clips from this live stream for those of you who haven't checked it, and then I would like to offer and provide extra commentary because of course, you know, this game is set in early 15th century Bohemia, Kingdom of Bohemia, and there are a lot of like interesting things from a architectural standpoint, from the landscapes, so the armor, weapons, everything really. And the game prides itself with its historical accuracy up to, you know, whatever point it still makes it interesting and fun to play, of course. And you know, I'm a huge fan of the first one, and when it comes to the second one, I already reacted to the trailer, and then I made this live stream where I reacted to this extended gameplay trailer. Now, of course, during the live stream, I could only offer so much when it comes to the commentary on the historical accuracy, because I didn't want to stop the video every 5 seconds and speak for 30 minutes. But this is what we're in for today, so let's go. Are you all 18, I hope? Because this is Peggy 18. So with that being said, maybe 4K. We don't need 4K. Let's go for 1080p since I'm not even streaming in 4K. There is no point. And let's get started.
Peggy 18.
Peggy 18. Not final quality. Yeah.
The Holy Roman Empire.
In the words of Francois Voltaire, the Holy Roman Empire wasn't holy, wasn't Roman, and wasn't an empire. I might make a dedicated video to discuss that quote, but let's go. Ready?
1403.
Panie, mój Boże, wysłuchaj mnie. Całe życie mordowałem I ruchałem.
Already have no idea what language that is. What is it? Polish or Czech? No idea. You let me know if you know. It was Polish, as the entirety of the chat let me know after a few seconds of that. Literally the entire chat. Polish.
Więcej razy paliłem kościoły niż byłem u spowiedzi. Wybacz swemu słudze. Wybacz I pozwól mi jeszcze tylko raz wykastrować tych...
We're kind of dressed similarly. I think he's got an arming doublet and a little bit of mail. I love the mail with the pointing. Can you see my mouse, by the way? Just ask. Oh, it's Polish. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate. Everyone is saying Polish. I appreciate that. Thank you. Look at the points, the coming out from the mail. I love that little touch of authenticity. And since we are at it, these are the points. They're used to secure the plate elements of your medieval harness. So let's go.
Bezbożnych skurwysynów!
Welcome to the first look at the gameplay of Kingdom Come Deliverance II.
Alright, let's start being annoying with the armor and whatnot. So he's wearing mail, looks really good, very nice, excellent quality when it comes to the, you know, it's very well tailored for him. I can see no baggy arms. Yeah, this looks good. Look at the shoulder plates. I like the way he's looking, and yeah, but don't wanna speak too much. Let's continue. Turn on the subtitles, sure.
A unique action RPG with a vast realistic open world and a grand cinematic story. As the young lad Henry, you will embark on an unforgettable journey through the beautiful but brutal world of the late Middle Ages.
Look how beautiful. My gosh, these guys are masters of ambience. Yo, yeah, I'll speak a lot. Yeah, you want to know all the details. Yeah, that's why we're here. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you just wanted to watch this, you could watch it on your own. So, I mean, we're here to provide commentary. I already love the graphics and everything, the light. Let's continue.
Our task for this quest is to find 2 men-at-arms, Raniek and Ada, and recruit them into a rebellious task force of which Henry is part.
Okay, so interesting that they kept the map looking like a medieval illustration. I loved that in the first. I'm really happy that they're keeping that, because sometimes studios make changes. No cuirass, no pauldrons. Maybe couldn't afford them. Nicaea. I mean, yeah, for the late medieval period, it's true. Mail alone would not be considered sufficient. A lot of sunlight on the grass looks so good. Yeah, this is like proper ray tracing. I mean, you're gonna need a monster of a computer to play this one in 4K. I can tell you that much. But hey, looking forward to that. So I like, okay, so it's a rebellion tale. Good. I'm sure Jason Kingsley would appreciate that. Let's continue.
With a bunch of talented criminals and violent drunks, you're about to unleash a guerrilla warfare against Sigismund, the usurper.
I think he was wearing Visby gauntlets, which would be, I mean, it depends when it's said, but I mean, sure.
Of the Bohemian throne. The first man on the list, Raniek, was last seen in the nearby village of Bilani, playing dice in the tavern. Let's go ask the local gamblers about him.
Alright, this is where these games shine. We're gonna start seeing the architecture, and what I remember about the first game is if I had to pick one thing that they did just right, it was the architecture. Like the buildings, whether it be churches, whether it be castles, or whether it be the common living quarters of regular people in the Kingdom of Bohemia in the early 15th century, they really got that one spot on. Sometimes with the clothing it wasn't perfect. We're gonna check that out. And weapons and armor, there were some problems in the first one, although again it's a game obviously, but I'm here to nitpick regardless. So yeah, you say 1403, Bunda says, those would be affordable option, right? If you buy off the shelf cuirass, yes, but if you wanted something tailor-made, it would still be extremely expensive. But of course, off-the-shelf armor existed as well, and also how much of heat treatment you would put in your armor would significantly influence the amount of money you would have to pay. Let's have a look at this village. So we are recruiting men-at-arms, kind of like that.
It's very early. The villagers are just waking up to their everyday chores, milking cows, harvesting crops.
Okay, so we're starting to see something interesting that we can discuss historically. So yeah, already I love the buildings. It looks very much like a rural area, of course, of Bohemia, but in general, Europe, Central Europe, I want to say. But I see someone on the left, and we're gonna talk. So I want to see if he gets closer a little bit, but already this appears to be some kind of guard or men-at-arm, probably a men-at-arm by the way he's dressed. And yeah, so we've got full plate arms, loved those. He's wearing a heated shield on the back. Now already, I don't know what kind of helmet he's got, maybe a bassinet looking from here. He's got full leg harness. So this is a successful man-at-arms, by the way, because all of this stuff would have been expensive. Interestingly enough, the heated shield looks fantastic. It's fully covered. I love that. I mean, we have been mistreated, really, when it comes to historical accuracy of heated shields particularly. It's the one shield that everyone gets wrong. First, because you always see exposed blanks. Here, you don't. This looks probably some kind of parchment, which is historically coherent. It looks relatively thin. Once again, that's correct. It's well painted, fully painted. This looks wonderful. Probably gessoed, covered, because you could have parchment and cover it in gesso. It'd be interesting to see the other side. Sometimes that would be covered as well. It would be double covered, or sometimes it wouldn't be. But as long as the front is covered like it is here, it's great. And if it's, yeah, the size is great, but he's wearing it on the back. Now, I want to see how they achieve that, because when you look at medieval iconography, I'll see if I can find some to show. All right, to back up my claim that I made on the stream, I actually prepared some interesting shield images that I got from manuscripts and miniatures, and these I think can be great to sort of drive this point in. So let's begin with this one here. As you can see, we've got a round shield on the back of this cavalryman of mounted soldier, as he's using his right hand for his spear, and of course his left hand is busy with the reins of the horse. Note that we don't see how the shield is attached on this piece of iconography, but if we look at the different manuscript illumination, then you see that we start seeing it. So in this case, once again, it's a spearman, and they are wearing their round shield in this situation on the back, but you can see that there is a leather strap, just like I had mentioned, as a suspension mechanism, or we should say a way to wear the shield, and he's wearing it diagonally on over his chest. And if we move to this as well, this is another type of shield. I think I did mention during the stream, oval shields also have this type of attachment mechanism, and we can see it here once again. It's going transversely, I think, is that even a word? And then it's clearly attached on the shield in a way that I will actually show you, because I have a replica of this, so I'll show you in a second. But I also wanted to continue with the manuscript illuminations. This is clearly 15th century, by the way, and here we see happen, this is a previous type of, this is probably a 12th century type of soldier or men at arms, but I thought this was fascinating because we can see that now this soldier is not using a spear, it's just wearing the shield as he's getting ready to draw his sword and get into combat. Of course, this is from the Maciejowski Bible or the Morgan Bible, and this is a representation of a biblical story, and it's David versus Goliath. But regardless of that, it's still made in with contemporary military clothing, and we can see that he's wearing a heater shield on the back. I think it's kind of a bigger one, maybe one of those that were still sort of coming from the kite shield as it was progressively getting smaller. But once again, the attachment method is the same, and it's through a leather strap, and I think it would look really good if they did that on the game. Now let me show you with my shield how that's actually connected. Although in my case it's with a North shield, it still most likely was attached in the same way. Let me show you. And here we are for more explanation with a shield. I mean, what did you expect? You clicked on this, and that's Metatron 101. So, shield. I was talking about this. So as you can see, this is connected to the shield in two specific places here, here, and here. And you can see that because basically there is a hole with a loop. And there you go. So when a shield is done properly, that's what you would see with this type of strapping. Not all shields were strapped like this, but what's interesting about this shield is that similarly to the iconography we just saw, I can wear it like this, which actually looks very similar to what we saw in the manuscript illuminations. Now here, if I make it a little tighter, then of course the shield will go further up, and then from the back, that's what it looks like as I go to my coffee machine. Historically accurate. So I think that even for the game, something like this would look really cool. And then if I need it, of course, I take it off like this, and then I can just wear it ready for combat. But when we look at medieval iconography, we see shields worn on the back a lot. Okay, so it isn't a historical. In fact, if we take enough time, we might do it later on the stream, but I'm pretty confident that I can find you a piece of iconography where a heater shield is worn on the back, where a round shield is worn on the back, where a kite shield is worn on the back, where a tower shield, what is it called? Pavese is worn on the back, when a oval shield is worn on the back. Like, we can find it. But they are worn with a specific strap setting. I want to see if they're doing that, so let's go. Hello, Mr. Donut, good to have you here. Good evening, Black Reaper.
Or Gambling Groschen.
All right, so already, oh cool, he's wearing a some sort of like brigandine. I love this sort of shoulders. They're a little less common, but they were also done. But it looks like, and that's one little critique here, it looks like the shield is actually magnetically connected to the, let me see if I can go back a little bit. You guys told me that I can push comma, yeah. So the shield is kind of suspended and magnetically connected. It's a little too thick, to be honest, to be it should be thinner. But sometimes they do that in game development because otherwise in games they might not look as good. So I'll give them a pass for that, but it should be a little thinner than that. Regardless, the shield looks really good. But once again, we should see a strap that goes all the way around, a leather strap that is then connected to the inside of the shield, and we don't see that. Now, I was right, he's wearing some form of bassinet, and the visor, it reminds me of the Spoleto type of visored bassinets that we see in iconography. Once again, I could get the iconography in a little bit, if you want, maybe if we go a little deeper into this. I love what they did with the base of the bassinet, because this looks extremely like they literally took like a high-end reenactment piece of kit, excuse me, and they literally just copied it because it looks great. The visor, now I know it is found in iconography 100%. I can't point to an actual extant example. Maybe Wallace Collection? I'd assume the buildings like the first game are slightly oversized. Yes, they were, because of painting issues if they were properly sized. Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. That did happen with the churches. It did happen with some of the buildings indeed. But once again, it's not something you would really notice unless you are into like actual medieval architecture. Anyways, Man-at-Arms looks really good. I really like him. I just wish they added a strap that goes around him for, you know, a little extra realism. Is that no strap on the shoulder? I think what you're referring to over here is the pointings that go through his mail and are used to connect the shoulders. But I don't think that these that we see here are connected to the shield in any way. But yeah, let's continue. Very fun. What era is the visor from? 15th century.
Lord be with you. Greetings. What brings you here so early in the morning?
Okay, so I think they have improved. I'll have to see a guy standing up. But one of the problems we had with the first KCD when it comes to the clothing is that they were a little too short and you could see this man's sort of undergarment in here and crotch, which usually medieval clothing doesn't happen. Here, this does appear to be long enough, but I'll have to see when people actually stand up. Regardless of that, look at the multiple fabric buttons that he's wearing. These were absolutely a thing. In fact, that's exactly how my arming doublet works. Let me see if I can show you. My arming doublet also has, sorry for the hair, the exact same, goodness gracious, how much hair do I have? The exact same type of fabric buttons. So very cool. Love that. Love to see it, number ones. Greetings, traveler. Greetings, YJ. It's good to have you here. If anyone from Warhorse is watching this, they must be nervous every time Metatron... No, they're doing a great job. And anything I'm saying is slightly nitpicky, but in general, their games are absolutely fantastic. And even the hood that he's wearing is very similar to the hood replica that Jason Kingsley wears on his channel. Very, very similar. Now, look at the belt here. Did you notice how the belt, it goes inside, like they did a little knot and then it goes inside? That's a little bit of a reenactorism in the sense that we see it in every single reenactment group, but it's a little over exaggerated when it comes to, you know, the reality of how medieval people wore belt. So it's fine if the occasional person does it, but if every single belt in the game has this format, then it's a little... it's like over-representing a feature that we don't know how common it was. Just because people do it in reenactment, it doesn't mean that it was a case. Let's see what happens.
The innkeeper said you were playing dice with Raniek.
You know Raniek? Then you must have a drink with us.
Same to you.
Thanks, but I'd rather know what happened to Raniek.
Impatient, aren't you? We can take you to him right now, if you want.
Lead the way then.
Come on.
I like how the guy sounds slightly cockney. We're going to take you right on, all right? How about you sit down? We're like them spolders. It's kind of funny that they have, but I get it. It's you know, probably when we talk to a noble, they will speak like posh English. That's fine. That's not a problem. I mean, at the end of the day, I just find it funny. It's like in those games where like dwarves sound Scottish. It's like automatic. Wood elves sound American, and humans sound English. But then again, it's kind of funny actually. I remember a game, Dragon Age Origins, fantastic, but sometimes the Templars, like actual knights and noble knights, sounded Cockney. And they were like, "You're an elf, are you? You're crazy, you." So that was kind of funny, but yeah. Top of the morning, Space Trump. Good to have you here. They're always British for some reasons. I think the reason why they do that is in the collective imagination, a British accent sounds more medieval. It's not necessarily the case because in the medieval period there was no such thing as a non-rhotic accent without the R. A bit like I have a non-rhotic accent when I speak English as well. But that didn't exist in the medieval period. So it's kind of funny actually to think about it. Maybe it would sound a little closer, because you still didn't have GVS or Great Vowel Shift, but perhaps it would sound closer if you had like a Bristol accent where the R is still pronounced, but the rest sounds kind of English. I don't know. Just speculating here. So yeah, the clothes are longer now and you can't see their crotches. That's an improvement from the previous game. I appreciate that. I also want to see how quickly the armor rusts and gets dirty, because in the early game, you're going to walk for 10 minutes without getting the armor dirty, which was a little annoying sometimes. Yeah, let's continue. You say Carol Urban says better than an American accent. Maybe if it was like a transatlantic accent could be interesting, but then again that sounds too much like the 30s, 40s. Let's go.
Nice fellas. They offered us a drink, and now they'll introduce Raniek to us. No questions asked. Looking forward to meeting him. Seems like a feel-good quest.
Hey, do you want to see him or not?
I gotta say, so far it looks absolutely fantastic. CryEngine is spectacular. I'm working on Unreal Engine 5 for my game, but already what they're doing isn't CryEngine their proprietary engine or something like that. It's fantastic. It looks absolutely stunning. Okay, so let's see this other piece of conversation. I love that you can see the full arm harness here with the gauntlets. Looks great. Yeah, guy in the background, little depth of field. Very good so far.
So where is he? What? Where is he? I don't get it. What happened to him?
We met this Raniek in Pshitoki. We even lent him money when he had nothing to play with. He swore he'd pay us back.
Oh, look at that mace. I just noticed it. That's very interesting. Already, it's an interesting way to wear it. It's secured so that when you walk, it doesn't keep hitting you in the thigh possible. Look at the belt. So this is something we want to look to see if it's overrepresented, because this is very reenactor-ish, as I was mentioning. Now you can see it well. If every single belt looks like this, that's something, if I were an advisor, not that I am, but if I were, I would tell them maybe tone it down a little bit. But apart from that, I love the arming doublet, looking good. The hat looks good. The fact that it's not fastening it's fine. Sometimes you did it even with helmets, and we have iconography to support that. And some medieval men at arms and knights would just put the helmets up a little bit when they were in a relaxed situation. And also, I like that the mace is not too big, and the connections between the shaft and the mace looks pretty good. I like it so far. It's very nice.
We met here and played some more. Raniek kept losing, but he didn't know when to stop.
What did you do to him?
When it was clear he had no way to pay us
He didn't know. He had no way.
back, we started watching him to make sure he couldn't run away. He started whining about having to go take a dump. But we didn't want to watch him shit himself, so we let him go and said we'd wait outside the shithouse. But the bastard got the idea to flee the other way.
You mean through...
But I reckon it was deeper than he thought. And he never came out.
I'm gonna pull Raniek out.
Well, if you say so. But I wouldn't go in there for a golden pig.
And when I find him?
Just pull him out and search him. That bow of his should fetch a decent price.
Okay, so basically someone died while using the latrines, I suppose, which is really funny because we have historical... Yeah, oi, bruv. I know, that's what he sounds like, what it is. I was just saying, we do have historical mentions of medieval people, including nobles, that actually died inside latrines and they drowned in their own... So yeah, that did happen. So it's kind of interesting that they are, the first mission is about something like that, because we do have historical examples that I know for a fact that they are doing it because they are aware of those. 100%, 100%. There is also an example in England of a person that died because they were doing that job. They were like cleaning and then they fell, it was too deep, and they drowned in the excrements. Could you imagine that? I mean, I shouldn't laugh, poor guy, but yeah.
Jump in then.
The life of a true medieval adventurer.
Oh, that's funny. Tomorrow, lad, thank you for the support. Which language have you had the most fun learning? Japanese, 100%. But Mandarin was fun too because of the tones. That was always really, really fun. He died trying to escape through the latrine hole, though. Oh, I see. Oh, well, it is what it is. Yeah, it's kind of funny, once again. We'll see if we see a couple... We have to fight a couple of rats. That would be a nice connection, I think, with like Baldur's Gate games.
Isn't always about winning epic battles, saving damsels in distress, and forging your own destiny. Sometimes it's about fumbling for corpses in a pile of shit
Something's moving over there.
behind the Balani Tavern at 7 a.m.
Oh, good. That must be him.
Here we go.
Oh, finally.
Poor Henry.
Ugh, this is disgusting.
I don't think they deserve the bow after all.
Okay, so that's like the mini mission to get you a bow. Fine, okay, cool. I thought it was going to actually go diving into something. But yeah, hello, Jeffersonian anti-federalist. Hello for once again, most of the stream. Absolutely, we're going to see a lot of things. Space Trump says, now this is realistic, yeah. And I mean, I love the mud and the reflections. It looks really, really good. They also seem to have like pigs walking around. Cool. I want to see if what they do, because at night they should put the pigs inside the houses. That's what they did. They did it in ancient China as well, so it would be interesting to see. That's one of the reasons why the character, the Chinese character and now Japanese character as well, to write house is pig under a roof. That's literally how you write it. You write a roof and put a pig underneath, and that's how you write house. And it's a similar situation in the medieval period in Europe, because yeah, you know, they're expensive animals. You don't want people to steal them, or you don't want, like, you know, foxes to attack them and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do that in the game.
Don't be afraid, feel around. Hey, where are you going?
Come on, do it! Find the bow!
Now, bring us the bow.
What about the...
Not another step.
Come on, you had never played a game. You have to loot everything and then sell it for profit. Thank you, Lucas, for the donation. I'm going insane trying to finish my thesis, but your channel helps. Best stay strong. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm glad to be helpful.
God, what a stench. So, did you find the bow?
Well, I have it, but I won't give it to you. With what I had to go through to find it, it's more of a consolation prize.
Did you go mad from wading through shit? Give it to me.
Come and get it.
Fellas, hold your noses and beat him up.
KCD II aims to bring a unique blend of realism and fun into every part of the game, combat included. Our fighting system is built on true medieval martial arts and wrestling techniques. Fluid, thrilling, and tactical. As in real combat, movement is the key.
Okay, so far, I love, obviously, I'm a huge fan of the HEMA combat. It's interesting that he speaks about realism and he hit him in the face already twice with a sword and the guy is still fighting him like it's nothing. But then again, it's a game. I understand it's a game. So far, as always, I love the fact that you've got, like, you know, the HEMA poses, the stances and whatnot. You know, when you hit them on the arming doublet, if it's not like a perfect hit with a sword, it could happen that you don't cut through. That could happen, but if you hit them in the face, I'd like it to be a little more, you know. But that's just me. That's just me. And it did escalate quickly, didn't it? But anyways, let's see the rest of the fight.
Key, as is equipping a good set of armor. Otherwise, you might find yourself in a pickle.
Okay, that was good. That was good. Like, hit him once in the head, guy died, loved it, and then this guy was like, very nice. So far, it's looking good. The third one should run away by now. That was a nice parry and riposte. Did you see that? He did this, probably the pivoting with the thumb. Love that. That's one of my favorite techniques, actually. Not that I know that many. But that was nice. Another thing that I remember, I had a little bit of a problem in the first one. And by the way, the pig is like nonchalant. The pig is like, oh yeah, humans killing each other. I don't care. So it's great. It's a very brave pig right there. But I wanted to say, so if you notice, all three of them were clearly fighting in a HEMA. Yeah, the stabbing was brutal in a HEMA sense. So they were all using their stances and, you know, tempo, distance. Now, if these are men at arms, that's fine. But if literally every single human being in the entire world knows HEMA, it's kind of weird. And I remember that's how it was in the first one. Like, and I think it would be nice instead if, I understand that what I'm saying is complicated from a programming perspective, but it would be nice that if, unless you fight someone who's trained, they don't know what they're doing. So they won't, like, moving in all the different guards like they have read the freaking the freaking treaties, because not everyone had access to those in the medieval period. So if you have like a drunk guy who wields a sword, he shouldn't be transitioning through the actual stances like someone who is trained, if you know where I'm going with this. But so far, I don't know the background. Maybe these are 3 people that are trained, in which case makes sense.
We should leave before someone notices the new corpses and starts investigating.
What the? Did I step in shit? Oh, it's just you.
I didn't have the time to wash up. But I'll do that right away.
As proven by this lovely lady, the world reacts to your behavior, looks, and even smell.
And Raphael says, and HEMA is reconstruction, right? It is, but then again, it's based on the manuals, so it does make sense to think that what we have today when it comes to German longsword, when it comes to, you know, Fiore dei Liberi, Fiore di Battaglia, is most likely the way trained people fought, like medieval knights, and why not professional men-at-arms. But when it comes to a regular billman or a regular, even a soldier, we shouldn't imagine that they would use all the sophisticated techniques. Probably for the average man in a medieval army, it would be a situation of riposte, parry, riposte, like very simple. Thank you, Lorcia, for the $5. Not sure if ground to expel your fluids would be so close to a tavern. I mean, yeah, true. The smell cannot help attracting customers, would it? Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it depends on the town. There were some medieval towns that are reported that people would just throw the stuff on the streets. That did happen. It wasn't the case for every single place, but some medieval cities were indeed quite dirty. That is a fact. But then again, it depends on the place. All right, so let me read a couple more comments and then we'll continue. The lady had the same belt, I think. Yep, I think you're right. But at least she wasn't in an undergarment, because that wouldn't be seen. At least she was wearing at least 2 layers. Where are you from? Italy or Sicily? Both, because Sicily is part of Italy. But yeah, I'm from Sicily. And yeah, but right now I'm in the US.
I found a body.
Time to vanish. In order to properly wash away our morning adventure, let's visit the best bathhouse around, which is located nowhere else than in the great city of Kuttenberg. The crown jewel of the Holy Roman Empire.
Oh, I love that. Look at those buildings. I mean, if anything, they are really good at this right there. And I can't wait for him to enter the church, particularly, because that would be, you know, that's where it should have a lot of people going back and forth, particularly if it's a bank holiday, which medieval peasants had more bank holidays than we do, by the way. And also that's where they would go and pay taxes. So churches are a community center. They're not just for religion. They're also for like everyday situations that have to do with can't think of the word right now, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like a municipal center as well, and yeah, it would be like a place where you go. Thank you, Higashi Martial Arts. Good to have you here. Yo, Metakun, otsukare to you, and thank you for joining the stream. A nice city. Yeah, let's have a look at the city then.
The central bank of the kings. A place where people of all sorts come to pursue the Bohemian dream and seek their fortune.
You know, when he says people of all sorts come, that would depend on the city, because it's true. Some cities like Paris or even Prague, cities that were famous for their universities, then they would be more cosmopolitan than other cities that didn't. And of course, coastal regions and coastal cities would have been the cities where you would have more diversity, let's call it this way. Whereas a small village in any rural area in the medieval period would have been like 99% homogeneous when it comes to local population. Maybe some differences here specifically in the Kingdom of Bohemia, because they had kind of a method whereby they would build settlements with people that were Czech, but then they would also build settlements that were German based, which means that on those settlements the majority of people would have been German. So yeah, very nice. Let's see. Thank you, Norma, for supporting the stream. Would there have been sophisticated pig breeding at this time? Well, I have no idea. I mean, I know a little bit about what they did with that sort of animals, but I don't know what you mean exactly by sophisticated, what you're comparing it to. But yeah, very cool. So it looks gorgeous. It really does. It really does. Kuttenberg was founded by Germans, I think. So it should be, yeah, it should have a higher German population, probably one of those. There were like two different techniques that they did use. I read a few papers on it, and they were very interesting. Might actually make a dedicated video at one point. Let's continue.
A city filled with people to befriend or betray, and all sorts of adventures and quests for you to uncover.
Yeah, it looks amazing. They do that thing with the belts, so I'm just going to shut up about it. But just so you know, yeah, the belts are not great. That's just my little opinion on it. But apart from that, love it. Love the diversity of colors. Look, there is a woman dressed in red. This woman is dressed in yellow. Looks beautiful, by the way. And then a couple of green. And this is great, because whenever we look at medieval iconography, we do see this, a multiplicity of colors, which makes it more realistic. And I love that. Thank you, Matej, for the donation. My internet connection went off for 10 minutes, just typical Czech things. Sorry, mate. I love having medieval experiences even before the release. Cheers from Czechia, Maestro. My pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to have you here. Yeah, Prague is so enormous, it would melt your PC, I imagine. Let's go. Okay, it's another. So he looks identical to the guy we saw earlier, exception being that instead of wearing a shield on the back, he's wearing a bow on the back. Would you wear a bow on the back? I'll have to see, because I know for a fact that medieval men-at-arms and knights did wear shields on the back, but I don't remember if I saw any iconography with bows on the back. I'll have to look into it and see if I can find it. But apart from that, yeah, identical. So there is that. And then I thought I saw a kettle hat on the right. Let's see. Yeah, that is a kettle hat. Love it. He's wearing a cuirass. This looks pretty good. I like how it's... Notice that he's not wearing greaves. Now, that is the case sometimes. He's wearing half leg. In fact, there are situations where medieval people didn't wear any leg protection whatsoever. And they would just go into battle, wearing what they could afford. So we shouldn't imagine, every medieval person would wear a complete suit. No, the most common thing would be a helmet. And then, yeah. This is late Middle Ages, but this is a possibility. Okay, so very nice. I want to say let's continue. Let me see. Did bows have straps? Yeah, as I say, not that I know, unless he's using the actual thing, but we'll have to see. I don't see a problem with recurring armor as long as the two NPCs don't wear it in the same area. Well, when it looks identical, but then again, yeah, it's not a problem. At the end of the day, it's not too big of a deal.
Don't cause any trouble, got it? I'll be with you.
What? But it had everything.
What can I do for you, you stinker?
I need my wounds treated and my clothes washed.
Certainly won't regret it. My baths are first class.
Now that we're all scrubbed up, let's take a stroll around the city.
I mean, look at this. Look at the lighting. It's absolutely spectacular. I mean, Tri-Engine is to die for. This is really, really beautiful. You know what it reminds me of with the little herbs and plants at the top here? It reminds me a little bit of Dragon's Dogma. I don't know if you remember the first one. That was nice. Also, notice the religious talk, a lot of like, God be with you. That's fine, of course, in a medieval context. As far as I understand, they still use those expressions a lot in Czech, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
The world in KCD II doesn't wait for you to come and trigger the lives of its citizens. All inhabitants have their own day routines.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Merchants, wenchers, soldiers or executioners. They all wake up, go about their workday, and once that's finished, they go home to their families or to the tavern to their beers.
Are you whistling at me?
Depending on the period in the Middle Ages, beer would be considered a food, by the way. It became an intoxicating drink in the late medieval period, but before that they considered it like, oh, you're having a meal. Let me see. Latin, Greek, and Germanic are the best European, so whatever your favorite, I suppose. PewDiePie, Tui, and then sometimes some people using them. Yeah, I thought so. They're in a great music and game. I agree.
I'm not interested.
KCD II aims to bring you a uniquely reactive and believable world. Whatever you do as Henry, it will have consequences, and you will feel them. Have you haggled too long with the greengrocer about the price of his cabbage? Well, now he's pissed off, and you can forget about any sale. Thrown your favourite hat in front of a beggar kneeling by the church. Come back a minute later, and you'll see him wearing it proudly. Or killed the local innkeeper's husband. She'll be crying in front of her house the next time.
Gosh, look at that. This is so Central European. If you have ever been to Czech Republic, or in general, you know, there's a difference between some areas in Czech are actually very similar to Germany and Switzerland. But what I mean by that is, you know, Switzerland, Czech, some areas of Germany, they look exactly like this even today. This is amazing. Thank you, Norm, for the donation. How multilingual would cities in Kuttenberg be? Would people in cities know multiple languages, generally stick with their own cultural groups? You know, they would be quite multilingual, but then it would be a barrier. So basically, you would have people that speak German, people that speak Czech, people that speak French, but they couldn't communicate unless you were learned. But then again, in areas that had a lot of trading, you would have people that would know a little bit. So there is that. But to have someone who is actually fluent, it was, of course, harder unless you were born bilingual, which is different. But it was harder, of course, to learn another language in the ancient period, in the medieval period, than it is as compared to today. You don't have the internet. You don't have, like, you know, a lot of people didn't have access to reading, because a lot of reading would have helped, and the learned would have had access to reading, which was a way to learn or even have like private tutoring. So it would depend. It would really depend. The Ghost, thank you for the donation. Hey, Metatron, just curious, what do you think of Napoleon? Are you interested in that era of history, and do you know what do Italians think of him? Well, Italians just think of him as, we think of him as everyone else, really. There isn't like anything particular where we're like, oh, Napoleone Bonaparte, or Bonaparte, like it was Bonaparte initially, and then he changed it into Bonaparte. Italian heritage, so we are particularly not really, no one really cares that much. And it's not really a type of history I'm as interested as, for example, this one. This one is what I'm into, or the classical period.
You go there, making you feel really miserable. Across this demo, we'll play as a good...
So, I just saw cabbage on the side. One thing I would love for them to do right, and I'm thinking of making a video about it, is the true colors of vegetables in the medieval era. Because oftentimes when we play video games and they're set in a medieval period, the vegetables look just like modern vegetables today. But that wouldn't have been the case. A lot of vegetables would have been purple, and vegetables now are not purple anymore would have still been purple at the time, for example, carrots, and rather than being orange. Although then again, it's possible that some orange carrot-like roots existed, since there is iconography that goes all the way back to the classical period, but still, they wouldn't have been that common. And there were quite a lot of other vegetables that would look different, and the colors of a medieval table or even a medieval fruit market would be different. It would be nice if this game did that, since they do bank on historical accuracy. Let's keep going. Very pretty though, I agree. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Thank you, Raphael, for the donation. Is this the true bleak and gloomy medieval experience? I hope not.
Hearted lad. Apart from the ending though, spoiler alert. But the game allows you to push Henry towards any behaviour, even the most vile. Here's a quick example of what you'll be able to do to stir some mayhem in the city.
Let's go. Ooh, firearms. Love it. Single shot, early firearms. Love that. She's pretty. Oh my gosh, you know what that would happen now if this was Zelda.
Hey, did you forget your clothes somewhere?
Aye, at your mother's place when I was shagging her.
Crossbow represent. This is great.
Ha! That was just a little appetizer. And now I'm hungry again. So I reckon it's time for another course. What do you say?
And now, back to our good lad Henry.
You know what that is? That is exactly what you do after you save, right? You save, then you do all of that, and then you load. And that's actually something I'm interested to see how they're handling save files, because in the early game, if you remember, initially they had a system that, I mean, I think it was meant to discourage you from saving too much. But then again, I always prefer the ability to save whenever I want, particularly if you're a busy professional, like in my case, or in your case, probably. And you're like, hey, I just want to be able to save because I need to go. So rather than, no, you need to find these potions, and then these potions have a limited time, or you have to find an inn. I usually prefer when you can save whenever you want. But then again, let's go. I dated a Czech woman there, so beautiful, says Tabletop Tales. Very cool, very cool. Same system, you say?
Huh? Please, good man. I need some help.
A prime example of a random encounter.
What is it you need?
I lost something, and I can't find it for the life of me. My leather satchel. I put it down here for a moment, and now it's gone?
Where did you put it?
Where did you put it?
Somewhere around here. I made sure it wouldn't be in plain sight. At least I think I did.
Oh, a moment's distraction is all it takes. Someone must have filched it from you.
If I don't find it...
If I don't find it... I wonder why he's asking me and not a guard, but then again, it is a game, isn't it? I feel quite hungry. You should eat some pasta, my friend. Same system, but mods exist. Yeah, I'll immediately mod it, because I need to be able to save whenever I need. It's a matter of, like, quality of life for the gamer. You know what I mean? If you want different training levels of characters, wait for the Gothic remake. I don't know what that means. Came out in VR. That'd be nice.
I'm done for.
Now hold on, wait. What are you doing? Give it back right now.
Oh, so he stole my money, Muppet.
Cheeky bugger. 50 groschen? That's worth at least a hug down the bathhouse.
Oh, enough! Had enough?
He gave up pretty quickly. There was one hit. I feel quite hungry. Yeah, I know. Basic Vulgar Latin was international language of Europe for centuries. Vulgar Latin doesn't exist. I'm pretty strong against the idea of Vulgar Latin. It was just Latin.
Now hand it back. Everything you stole from me.
Here. That's all of it. Can I go now?
Piss off.
That's a lesson, lads. Don't talk to strangers.
Acting like a child. Go and whistle somewhere else.
With our groschen back in our pocket, let's go to see a merchant to stock up on food, sell Raniak's bow, and head to the whereabouts of the second man on our list.
Actually, that's what I would do immediately. Sell the bow so I can afford, like, a helmet or something. That's what I would do. I want to see if they're still keeping up with the idea of allowing you to put the visor down for extra protection, but then you only see through the ocularia. I like that, but I understand why some people might not. Maybe it's an option, but you can choose to select or not in the menu, because I really like that for authenticity, being someone who wears helmets. Medieval Latin, yeah, medieval Latin, sure, but I'm just saying the idea of vulgar Latin isn't a thing. You just add, just like in English, whether it's a Cockney like we hear in this situation, an estuary accent, a posh accent, a classy accent, an educated, it's all English. Similarly, in Latin, you had very educated Latin, and of course you had the Latin spoken by the people, and you know, but it's still the same language. It's not a separate language like the people they're proponent of vulgar Latin. Like classical Latin died, but vulgar Latin is what people spoke. That doesn't exist. Oh, they said it's an option now? Oh, very cool. I love that. I'll keep it on. Anyways, I gotta say, so far, this game looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. Sell the bow. I love the inventory. I love the layers, all the different layers for armor. I mean, this is something, and now I want to say most games do. Even PAX Day has layers of armor, which I thought was really cool to see on a half MMO, half survival game that is still sort of fantasy. So I like the idea of, I hope they keep that, the approach of layers of armor. The music is fire. The music is really good. Yeah, absolutely. You say they ripped the music from Mountain Blade. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you want to play sort of medieval tune, I mean, that's pretty much. Raphael, thank you for the donation. Still people won't let go of the whole vulgar Latin thing in Metatron. It's so easy to understand why it's a silly concept. Yeah, I agree. How can we make them understand? Well, I have a dedicated video on the second channel, but then again, I mean, I know there are people that push it and there are people that fight it. I'm one of the people that fights it.
Fresh bacon is good, but then again, it won't last too long in your inventory. For longer journeys, dried food is always better, as it doesn't spoil, and you don't risk getting sick from rotten bacon.
Nice. Thank you, Banda, for the donation. I love the crime punishment system. Me too. They introduced, like, flogging. YouTube won't let me send the full word. Really. Branding if you are a repeat offender. Yeah, I really like that. That's actually a very, very cool system. Very interesting. Let's go.
Vielen Dank. Du wirst sicher zufrieden sein. Bis bald.
Cool, he's German. It's interesting that he just speaks German to you directly. I suppose you are multilingual, sort of. But very nice, love it.
Now that we're geared up with some food for our hungry Henry, let's proceed with our quest.
Why did he move so slowly? This is great. I'm having a great time today.
The world in KCD II is filled with places to discover.
Nice.
Let's have a look at this old ruin. There might be something valuable.
I wonder if they are like Roman ruins, because it looks like a medieval ruin, so I wonder why it's a ruin, unless it's like a fortress that was destroyed or something. But let's have a look. This looks fun. The assets are beautiful. There we go. Guard wearing shield in the back. That's fine.
Turn that horse around and get out of here right now! Right, I'm going.
What a voice.
Come on. Well, what's it gonna be? I told you to get out of here.
We should listen to Mr. Marlborough and not provoke him. But given his menacing tone, he must be guarding something valuable.
Right.
That's a promise we can't leave behind like that.
I agree. Let's get it. Oh, so stealth mode. Stealth mode. Maybe you should wait for the nightfall, shouldn't he? Follow the rabbit. Let's go.
Let's change our outfit to something more quiet and drop the chainmail for a bit.
Interesting.
So we don't rattle across the whole camp.
Well, that makes sense. Mail is, in my test, if you remember, I made a video about it. Mail is one of the noisiest. Even more than plates sometimes, depending. So he throws a rock. Yeah, architecture is great. Yeah, he sounded like smoking. Oh my god, oh, I just murder him. Okay, I see. Goodness gracious. Are we the hero or are we the villain? And why didn't he take his armor? The guy was in full kit. Or so am I suppose. But you could sell it.
I heard something.
Let's go, let's go. And there he goes. I think that went through the mail though. But I'm just being nitpicky. Very nice. So you can do stealth. Fun. I don't remember that happening in KCD I. Crossbow! Right, let's go. Very nice. See how he rested it on his belly? That's one way to do it, depending on the poundage.
An alchemy lab. Of course.
Is there someone there? I
Oi,
can't even see.
Pinkman!
That weapon.
God damn.
Oh, come on. Why did he call him? You could have shot him. Oh, they wanted us to see the fight. So let's do it.
As you can notice,
Nice.
shields are very handy when you carry only
yeah.
a short weapon and have a free hand. But we cracked it right enough. Let's try to dodge and attack him right after.
Alright, let's do it.
There you go, Henry.
Oh, wow.
Yes, the weapons and shields can fall apart during combat if they're damaged enough.
All right, that's interesting. Of course, it's a game, so they have to calculate that. But because you know, a regular heater shield wouldn't go down in 4 hits. But then again, it's a game, so I understand if they want to do it to make it more fun, and it does look fun indeed. Thank you, Martin, for the donation. Next time you're in Czech Republic, have a beer on me. I appreciate that. Thank you, Martin. And I'll have to take my wife to Prague one day. Not sure about takedown, but stealth worked the same way in the first game. Very nice. Yeah, I didn't remember that. So it's pretty fun. Exactly. If you have to shoot, don't talk. I agree.
So it always pays off to take good care of them.
I'm just getting started.
Nice. Very nice.
Mercy.
Victory at last.
I love
Now,
that. Now, of course, this is not the first game that has people surrender, but I love it because it does give an aura of authenticity if every single person doesn't want, you know, to lose their lives. And also, look at the shield on the left. This is really nice. Even the, you know, the padding in the middle for your arm, and then the strapping system looks very authentic. And the fact that it's diagonal makes sense. Some were diagonal, some were straight. Sort of depends on the shield. We have both. So yeah, and I can see that here is stitched. So basically, you have like a rawhide, and this is covered as well. So probably the shield is covered in linen or parchment, and then it has a rawhide over it with a stitching method instead of the rivets, which once again, it's all authentic. So I love that. I hope he grabs the shield, by the way. I know it's broken, but then again, will there be a sex minigame? I wonder, probably, in the bathhouses.
What should we do with him?
You're not going anywhere until I say so. Let me live.
I'm freeing you.
Give me everything you have, and I'll let you go.
Right.
All right, easy now. Just let me go and I'll give you everything. You promised to
once again, I appreciate that, because sometimes there are games when you are clearly the strongest. Maybe you are in a full party. You have like this bandit who has nothing. They've got some money, and you tell them, give me the money. And they're like, no, I will, you know, I'll take your life for it. And then they, you know, they unalive themselves and whatnot. So I against you. So this is nice. I like that. I would let him go now.
free me. Now keep your word.
If you rewind a few moments back, you
Right.
can even see he gave Henry his red shoes.
Oh, he gave us.
But
he
it
gave
could
us,
have been
cuirass.
much worse for him.
Wow.
Fuck this! I'm not getting myself killed!
Makes sense. Thank you, Snarkbite, for the donation. Can you expel yourself live to get super chats? I don't know what that means. Hi. Hi, how are you? Oh, you should come and say hi to the chat. The wife is here. Let me go to full screen for a second. There you go. Here we are. Hi.
Hi, Chad. How are you guys doing?
So I'm
We're
reading the
playing-
chat here.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi,
Oh, that's
Chad.
fine. Here we go.
We're playing D&D downstairs, so if you can hear anything, that's what that is.
No, we could. I mean, I can't hear because we are hearing the messages in the game.
Oh, good. Oh my gosh, chat's flowing. Look
No,
at
it's.
that.
I think it's. Oh yeah, it is actually. Goodness gracious, this is.
Guys, this is incredible.
Oh no, but I think it's catching up. That's
Oh, I
probably
see.
why it's catching up, because that's
Thank
a
you
lot
for
of.
all the super chats.
I
as well.
appreciate.
This
Yeah.
is crazy.
Thank you. We're having a great time, and then after we are done with this game, hello waifu. After we're done with this game, we're gonna watch Civilization 7, and then we're gonna go watch Heroes of Might and Magic. We have a great.
Oh my gosh,
Sunday.
Tell me about the Heroes of Might and Magic one, but I watched the Civ one and it looked really. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah. We'll see.
Did you
I
let them
liked
know
some.
about members?
Yeah, I did.
Oh
I
my
let them know. Yeah,
goodness.
I did
I hope
that.
everyone's excited about that. That'd
Yeah.
be super fun.
Yeah, trying the games. Absolutely.
We're fighting like this tentacle boss in the sewer.
Wow.
Yeah.
D&D. Yeah, we've had a little bit
It
of.
kind of looks like Alien, like from
I see.
Alien,
Right.
except instead of the, but he's got like tentacles that like. Anyways,
Very nice.
I'm really scared of it.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Ahoy, someone says.
Ahoy.
All right.
Bye, chat.
All right, let's go. Let's go back to top right, and let's continue. Let's continue our journey. We are 18 minutes in. Let's go.
There must be something of great value here.
Imagine there's nothing now.
Fuck this! I'm not getting myself.
Oh, the guy's still screaming out
Oh,
there.
yes. Savior Schnapps.
Oh,
A
yeah.
classic period potion through which you save the game.
Yeah, they're back.
This
with
was
that.
worth the 3 kills.
Not a huge fan of that. Pharaoh C. Victor, thank you for supporting the stream. Finally catching a live stream. Great to have you here. So yeah, I hate the fact that you have to drink the potion to save. I can't stand the mechanism, but whatever. I'll still play
Unlike the
it.
bow.
I'll still play it. Do you think you could beat Henry in a duel? Early game, probably. Late game, probably
Now,
not.
back to the recruiting campaign.
Yes.
The second man on the list, called Ada, was supposedly misbehaving last night around this village. And the
Look at
gossip
it.
says he was caught with the butcher's wife.
The ray tracing is gorgeous. Okay, so let's go. Please don't touch the chickens. There's no need for that. No need, Henry. Chickens have done nothing. Okay, so... Made you engage in alchemy. What? The potion thing?
Good evening to you.
I'm looking for someone, and the innkeeper said you might be able to help.
Is that so? Who is it?
A wandering man at arms. He's a foreigner, a Pole. They call him Adder.
Who are you anyway? Some friend of his?
What do you mean a foreigner? You have to say an international person.
Something like that. I just need to find him.
Then you better hurry up. My old man wants to murder him.
You can
Why
always...
does he want to kill him?
You can always save when you go to sleep. Oh, that's nice. Harem King, thank you for the donation. Who's the current Pope in Kingdom Come? I have no idea.
Because he's a stubborn fool who won't let me explain. And believes gossip over his own wife.
Then calm down and tell me what happened.
Nothing happened. I mean, not that the Pole wasn't interested. He was looking at me all night at the inn, but I avoided him.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but notice. Is that bruise from the butcher?
He doesn't mean
Oh,
it.
it's the husband.
He just
Deep inside, he loves me.
doesn't know what he's doing when he's angry.
Here you go. A potion for the pain. It should help you quickly.
Nice.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
And where will I find your husband, Adder, and the rest?
Outside the village, in the direction of Kuttenberg.
She's lying.
There's a lone tree in the
We'll
middle
see.
of the field. You can see it from a distance. They said that's where they take him, so that no one can see them.
I better go and see your husband. The sooner it's over, the better.
Hurry up, please.
We should
What she doesn't know is that we are apparently some sort of mass murderer. We've been murdering everyone. Like, it was funny when we murdered 3 people for a potion. It was like, oh, that was definitely worth it. Absolutely. Oh, is Pope Boniface? Could be early 14th century.
hurry up
15.
then.
Sorry, 15.
A violent mercenary and a jealous wife-beater behind the village
A violent mercenary, mate. That's you, literally.
can't end up well.
What? Are you blind?
Are you blind? Are you visually impaired?
God!
That's beautiful. Look at that.
Panie,
Oh,
mój Boże,
the Polish guy.
wysłuchaj mnie. Całe życie mordowałem i ruchałem. Więcej razy paliłem kościoły niż byłem u spowiedzi. Wybacz swoje słudze. Wybacz. Wybacz i pozwól mi jeszcze
Wybacz.
tylko raz wykastrować tych bezbożnych skurwysynów!
I wonder why they kept the male on him. But yeah.
Shut up! No one can listen to your damn gibberish!
Twoja baba i tak do końca życia będzie pamiętać o mojej polskiej kiełbasie!
I'll shut that gob of yours!
Ciebie i twoją matkę piekło pochłonie. Niech was piekło pochłonie!
Wait! Stop!
Here we are. Let's see.
A co to za kutas?
Are we saving the Polish guy?
Leave him alone and untie him.
Leave him
Why
alone.
would I do that? Do you know what that bastard did?
Nice bearded axe right there. So that's I'd like to underline, this is not a tool, this is a combat war axe. So kind of depends on who this guy is, because look how it's thin, and then it's, you know, the bearded implement. This is good for cutting people, but it's not great. Like if you try and chop a wood with this, it wouldn't last very long. Normal Slavic conversation sounds like it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Polish sounds cool. I don't care.
If you're talking about the rumors in the village, it's all lies. Nothing
That's
happened.
the husband.
You don't know what you're talking about. That whoreson defiled my wife. My Eva, eh? He should be glad we're only gonna hang him. If I had my way, we'd castrate him as well.
Right.
I saw that mark you left on your wife's face. That was no accident, was it?
Yeah, so now the fact that he's shaming the husband for hitting the wife, that would really depend on the context, because in some instances, unfortunately, in the medieval period, it was the husband's right to kind of punish the wife. Not in all countries, not in all instances, and of course there would have been people that would have frowned upon, but the idea that he's shaming him for it, I mean, he could say, well, my wife was what's the word, unfaithful to me. From the medieval perspective, I mean, I don't know how much you could shame a guy for that. I mean, I would, of course, but I'm a modern human.
What are you on about?
You'll raise your hand to a defenseless woman, but you need a whole gang to take on a man.
Think you can insult me, do you? Shut your gob. Get him, lads.
Oh, I see. We're gonna have to murder every single one of them. Oh, it's funny. My mic's level is too low. Really? Is it? I mean, I'm very close to the mic. Are you sure that you don't have the volume too low? Try and raise the volume first, and if that doesn't work, let me know and I'll see if I can raise it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They got him. They got him. We didn't save the Polish. Now we're gonna slaughter everyone.
At least Eva can find...
The thing is, though, if you murder the husband, you're not really helping the wife, because, first of all, apart from the whatever emotional attachment, but, you know, a widow in the medieval period is gonna be tough. Your volume is low, the game is loud. I see. What if I do this? And then, let's see. Thank you for the donation, not Alfarius. So to answer the earlier chatter question, there are two popes during KCD, since it during the Western Schism, Gregory the XII in Rome and Benedict the XIII in Avignon. Thank you so much. Appreciate the message about that, the clarification. How's my voice now? Because I tried to lower. Let's do. I'm gonna halve the volume in the game, so that if you increase the volume on your end, the game shouldn't explode. Let me know if that works.
Someone nicer now.
I'm all yours.
The Polish guy is he? Yeah, of course, it's gone. But you see what I mean? He's using Hema stances, and he's just a villager. I personally don't like that choice. It's the only one of the few things I don't like, because I love the game. I'm gonna play it anyways. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it probably in here. But I don't like that even common people look like they've read the manuals, that they've had even the time to practice. That's the only thing that it's a little bit immersion killing for me.
Quite hungry!
I see, so he didn't die. I don't know how realistic that is, because I think your own weight, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your own weight during a hanging would crack your neck. I don't think you die because of suffocation. I think you die because your weight on your spine, on your neck. I think. I could be wrong. It's not like I'm an expert on that, but that's what I thought. But nice, yeah. Metatron is too loud now. How? I didn't change it. I didn't change my volume. I'll try and increase it a little bit. Let me know if that works.
Oh, kurwa. O kurwa, było blisko. O kurwa mać.
It's funny because that swear word that he's using in Polish, in Italian, just means a like a curve when you drive on your street. That's how we say it.
Mało brakowało. Kimkolwiek jesteś, masz krzepę. To jak żeś nastukał tym zagnojonym kuciapom?
Yeah, once again, I don't understand. German people speak to me in German, Czech people speak to me in Czech, and now Polish people speak to me in Polish. Am I multilingual, or is this just what people do? Because as a European, even today, when you go, and I did, when you go around like Switzerland, you go around places that are very multilingual, still people don't just start speaking their language to you just because. I mean, usually they'd ask you if you understand it, and then they would stop. This idea of like, you keep talking whatever language, whether people understand you or not, is a little bit weird. Let's see, same in Portuguese. Really, yeah, same in Portuguese, I know. It is low, yes, you say. Well, I don't know what to do about that with the volume. Czech people can understand Polish. Okay, that's cool to know. I didn't know that. They're quite similar. Nice. That makes sense then. Still not with a German, but yeah. I am multilingual, yeah. Alright.
O, sam bym lepiej tego nie uczynił.
I reckon you want to know who I am, right? I'm Henry. Henry.
Nie. A dlaczego ty mówisz do mnie jak do głupca?
Yes, that's me. Henry. I was sent by Dry Devil. He's waiting for you at the Devil's Den.
O, żeż kurwa!
Yeah, it's a Dry Devil, alright.
Czart żyje? To jeszcze go nie powiesili? Kurwa, patrz, głupim to szczęście sprzyja.
As you say, in the Devil's Den. That's where all of us are supposed to meet.
O! Złaciutki! Kocham cię. Chodź ze mną. Musimy to opić w czartówce.
I'll go with you. I'll get there later.
Go ahead. I'll meet you there later.
Dobra, to tam się spotkamy.
Yeah, that's what I would have done, because usually NPCs walk too slowly in these games.
Kurwa, już się nie mogę doczekać jakiegoś ruchanka.
What a day, Henry. You did good. Now, off to find a bed, a bite to eat, and prepare for more tales to come.
Awesome. Awesome. Look at the city.
Good.
This concludes our gameplay showcase of Kingdom Come Deliverance II. Get ready for more exciting peeks into this medieval adventure on our journey towards release, February 11th, 2025.
Splendid, splendid. I love that. I love that. I love that cuirass that he's wearing right there. Yeah, the shield looks great. As I was telling you, it's fine to see the planks in the inside. Sometimes they will be covered, sometimes they wouldn't be. Kind of depends. But that was fantastic. What did you noble ones think? The English really kills the immersion. I understand Greg, but then again, I also understand why they would do that, because of course the majority of their customers do speak English, and so it might be a little problematic for some people and boring to just read, the comments all the time. It's okay. At the end of the day, it's kind of the Star Trek compromise, I suppose. Impressive game. I agree. Harem King, thank you for supporting the show. Would America go from a republic into Empire 2? Oh, well, yeah, I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I mean, that would be crazy. Where did you learn English, Metatron? In England, when I was in my late teens, I moved to England to, and I picked up English right there. Can't wait to play it. Me too. This was awesome. I have to say, armor looked great. Maybe a little more variety would be nice, but so far, very, very nice. The combat mechanics look great. As I was saying, my only thing is that I'd like to see a little different type of moves and animations for the common folks that shouldn't know HEMA, just as well as a medieval knight or a trained man-at-arm. I don't know if they're going to do that. I understand that they probably don't want to have to deal with that. But regardless, fantastic game. I see a very nice bassinet here in the background, so I'm really looking forward to playing this. And this actually concludes the first part of our stream, and we're going to move to the next game. But absolutely, I am going to buy this. I'm going to pre-order it, and usually I don't pre-order. But in this case, I am going to pre-order because I trust them. They delivered with the first, so they have a good track record. And what we see here is that they're going to release it for PC, Xbox Series X, and PS5. I'll get it for PC, of course. What system will you play this on? Number one. So we're gonna take like a 2 minutes break before we move on to Civilization 7, which is going to be the second game that we're going to explore today. Let me move myself to, let's see, full screen camera. There we go. Here we are. All right, but I think I have added enough commentary to already a lot of commentary. So this is probably a very, very long video already, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, let me know, because I might make a few more in the near future, since there are quite a lot of interesting titles coming up in 2024 and even early 2025. We've got Civilization 7, we've got a new version of Heroes of Might and Magic, which seems to be very reminiscent of the best Heroes of Might and Magic ever, which is Heroes 3. And anyways, and of course we've got some old games as well to check out if that's something you're interested in. Now, most of my gaming content is going to be moved onto my third channel, but the stuff that is very historical might still appear here if this video does well. So if there's something you want to see, please leave a comment below, share your opinion, share this video with your friends, or maybe whatever Facebook page that you're into that sort of deals with these sort of topics. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.